My name is. I was asked, what is the building? Good afternoon, everybody, and happy St. Patrick's Day. The regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Trinidad, Colorado will be held on Tuesday, March 17, 2026 at 6 p.m. in City Council Chambers at City Hall, 135 North Anima Street, Trinidad, Colorado, 81082. Les, would you like to lead us in?
Of course. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could all take a moment right now for Paul Ackerman.
We lost a former employee from the city of Trinidad, Paul Ackerman, last week. I'd just like to take a moment of silence. Paul was a dedicated worker to the city, helped everyone out, always had a smile on his face, and a very good friend of mine. So I'd just like to take a moment of silence for him right now. Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Meeting protocols, please turn off cell phones, be respectful, and take personal conversations into the lobby area. The following items are on file for consideration of council. Kim, would you like to do roll call, please?
Peters,
Yes.
Grissetti,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trevhill,
Here.
Lenore, here, Williamson,
Here.
Michaels.
Here. Item number 2, approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
In a second.
Call?
Peters,
Yes.
Grissetti,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trevhill,
Yes.
Lenore,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Michaels.
Yes. Item number 3, policy items and staff reports.
Mayor, the first item up is the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission.
Thank you. Victor, will you do me a huge favor?
Sure.
Undo my phone now since it was charging on there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want it?
Yeah, sure. I'll turn it on. I forgot I put it there.
Madam Mayor, Council, Victor Gutierrez here for Arts and Culture staff. We just wanted to introduce the board as we have a new council and a lot of new members for the board. We wanted to go over some previous projects, present and future. I'm gonna and also make sure that our board is aligned with City Council's vision. And so I'm going to turn it over to our chairperson, Joyce Miller.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to update you on the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission. I'm Joyce Miller, the chair of Arts and Culture, and I'd like to introduce you to our members, which you probably already know since you selected them. But we have Babs McKnight, we have Rich Alford, we've got Tony Vesquez, and our newest members are Judy Voorhees, Eric Shepard, which I don't think is here, and then Debbie Berry. Okay. We'd like to show you some acquisitions that we've made over the past couple of years for the city of Trinidad. The first one is the horse. They're not in the right order, so it's going to take a little time. Is it going up?
Can you see them on this screen?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, that's at the roundabout. The Circle-Lith by Tom Lady at Santa Fe Trail in Maine. Frisbee Dogs by Gary Hessling at the Wagon Tails Dog Park. Kissin' Coons by Amy Warbluski, which is at the Central Park. Provide Enough by Shayla Hartman at Central Park. Trinidad Spirit by Bill Williamson at the Trinidad Baseball Park. Okay. I'm going too fast.
love that.
Okay. And then Early Trinidad, Colorado by Robert Heineke, and that's at Space to Create.
Panels?
I don't see it. And that one was really pretty. No, that's wrong. Well, that one, the last one I talked about was actually one that was commissioned for the 150th anniversary and was shown alongside the other piece of art that was there. And it was a beautiful painting of what Trinidad looked like before we even got here.
Oh, yeah, that was wonderful. I saw that.
I hope everybody actually saw that one. Okay, we also have funded 2 murals for the mural project, the youth mural project, which are located at the Trinidad Animal Shelter.
That's the mirror.
Okay. Additionally, we have established the Legacy Project for the preservation of artwork by artists who lived and worked in Trinidad who have since passed. These pieces are located here in council chambers on the walls, and also the large painting downstairs as you come into City Hall. There's a bio of each artist next to each piece. The artists include Carol Bordeaux, which is the large painting, and then William E. Johnson, Alan Peterson, and Nina Cravens Fry. All of these works, as well as previous outdoor art, plus all of the museums and galleries, are included in our public art tour brochure, which was revived and reprinted in 2025 and distributed to the businesses and the Welcome Center. I think that there's some copies of it downstairs too. We also created a flyer in 2025 that was distributed in the utility bills describing what the Arts and Culture Advisory Commission is all about. This year, we plan on doing renovation and relocation of pieces that they just need revising. And that would be the Long Walk panels that used to be located at Kit Carson Park. Well, the agave sculptures that were at Alley A. And high-tailed deer statue that's now at Space to Create. And the sound garden located at Central Park. Now, the sound garden was actually put in by Main Street, but what's happened is that the mallets that you use to play the instruments, somebody vandalized them, and we need to get more mallets for them. So, and I'd also like to give a shout out to Rich Alford, who last year renovated the Commercial Street Bridge mural out here. We currently have one project in progress, which is another whimsical seat by Amy Warblewski called Love Stinks, that's what it's going to look like. And it should be completed this spring sometime. And hopefully, after we get all the renovations and the relocations done, we can edit our public art tour brochure. So, and that's about it for right now.
Thank you so much, Joyce. How do you decide on the youth mural project? Like if there's a mural project that happens this year, how do you decide on that?
That was, they asked us about, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago, for some money. Mostly it's for the paints, because the paints are very expensive. They're mural paints, they're specialized. And so we allocated about a $1,500 deal for those things. And then, it turns out that it was a city building now, so that's even better. But that's not something we do often. It was just one of those one-offs that we did.
Okay. Great, thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions, Ms. Miller?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Item B, item 3, number B, Carnegie Library update. And if we have a hat on in the audience, can we take it off, please? Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. For those of you that I have not met, yep, I'm Jessica Huffman, I'm the library director over at the library. I got everyone handouts, I just finished end of year reports, and then I had a comparison so we can see what happened in 2024 and what happened in 2025. I wanted to point out a couple highlights. For 2025, we served we had 32,351 patrons who walked in our door throughout the year. Extremely busy. We had copies, prints, faxes, people just come and use the library. We had 493 new card users. One of my big initiatives when I started was getting in with School District 1. So now I meet at the beginning of the year with the freshman class. They're all required to have a library card to go over. We talk about the online databases, research that they can use using our free resources. We have 5th grade classes coming in every Thursday now, and they're all required to have a library card, and they all walk out with handfuls of books. They even asked if we could actually be at registration next year so that we can just get everyone signed up for library cards. So it's becoming a school supply request. We had 25,891 items checked out, so people still read books. But including in that, along with books, we do have Canopy, Overdrive, which is Libby. We have Cloud Library, Comics Plus, and then we started a new streaming service, which is called Bibliotel, which is a Spanish streaming service. So if you want to watch your telenovelas, it's there for free. All you need is a library card. So we're getting a lot of things checked out. Along with that, we have outreach. So we're trying to be out at events. We go to the Water Festival. We've done a trunk or treat up at Camaro. I can't even remember. We do a lot out there. We have farmers market. I do story time in the summer at the farmers market. We've gone to the Head Start Health and Resource Fair. So we're trying to get out more in the community. So when I calculated how many times we've come in contact with everyone, we've probably reached about 2,405 children just at those events. We like the Water Festival because that's huge. So we get in touch with everyone there. We did a lot of programming last year. We kind of upped our adult programming. So we had our Common Good Cafe, our legal help program. So we have every third Tuesday and Thursday. You can get legal help services for free. You have to register for some of them. We had a community spelling bee. Author book signing, so any of our local authors that reach out to Tom, he schedules a book signing, and we have it at the library. We had an autism-friendly after-hour event last April. The big one last year I partnered with Christy Rogers was we had a living library program. So we had people from the community be books. And it was and you got to come over and check them out. So you got about 10-15 minutes to talk to them about their history, how they have been in the community. We had Cosette Henricks, David Harris. He's my favorite. He works up at in Copedale at the Copedale Mining Museum. So if you have any questions about mining, he is a wonderful resource. We had A. Grego, Phyllis Kilgrove, Margaret Apodaca, Francesca Filioni, I'm gonna butcher that, Marilyn Lusler, Dean Sneed, Harriet Van Bois, and Rich Alford. And we had over 100 people show up for this. It actually was bigger than we expected, and we kind of had to pivot how we were handling people talking to everyone. So we kind of just started doing a timer, and then we're like, move on next. So it was fun. It was a great one. I think we'll do it again. One of my big highlights is, and I have to give Dakota Torres credit for this, was our participation in our summer reading program. It increased by 42%. So her goal last year was, I want to get 100 kids signed up. We passed that goal, and she's like, I want to get 125 signed up. We passed that, and so I think we ended up at, I think 100, maybe it was 125. That's where but so she wants to do more this year. So we're out there in the community, register your kids, we have fun programs, don't let summer slide happen. Some of our current things that we are going to do, I forgot to talk about. So we do books. We do one-on-one technology training, so if someone needs help, we schedule time for them to come in, we sit with them for an hour. We do resumes, we do applying for jobs, applying for hunting licenses. I need help, sometimes even with the unemployment website. So we'll just sit there, it could be I'm trying to sell something on eBay. Some of the things we don't know, so we learn with them. I think I had one gentleman bring in his keyboard, and I Googled how to play his keyboard and all of the common things that he could work on his keyboard. So we learn as we go. We have a library of things, which includes the hotspots, the Chromebooks, a telescope, projectors, outdoor games. And this year, with the help of Bob Just, Nate, and Rich's team, we got a bike repair station out front. And I have seen teens to all age groups out there they hook their bike up. It has all the tools. There's a little QR code to show you how to fix your bike. It's a fairly passive way to reach people. They're outside, they're fixing their bike for free. I didn't realize how hard it is to fix your bike unless you have a stand to put it on ride bike. So this year, we received a $10,000 Carnegie grant. And with that money, we decided to purchase a new microfilm machine and the new computer that went with it. Our microfilm machine was at the end of life, and that is extremely important in our history room to look at all of our old newspapers. People do a lot of research back there, so we didn't want to have our hands tied in. It was kind of an expensive piece of equipment. We're working on a bookmobile, so that's coming. We're so close. I want to be done. I mean, ideally for the Labor Day parade, but that might be shooting for the stars. But with that, we're going to be able to reach out to seniors. We're going to be able to reach out to individuals with mobility challenges. We can reach out to parts of the community that are unable to access the library. Maybe they can't walk. Maybe I'm thinking like Linden and farther. That's kind of a long distance for a child to get over here. We could pop up at a park. In time, reach out to the rural communities, things like that. So that's going to be wonderful. We're also going to be focusing this year, as we became fully staffed this year, we're going to focus on more adult and senior population programs. On our list, I haven't forgotten, is we have plans to go to the senior center. Dakota and I have sat down and we're working on how that would look for us. Expanded adult programming. I have some dementia and Alzheimer activity kits that will probably be ready to be circulated by the end of the month. Those will be for family and caregivers to kind of engage your loved one, and it's anything as quick as like mazes and watercoloring, and there's actually a fidget board that you kind of see down in children's, but it has like blocks and just things to help keep your memory going. And I think that's it. I try really hard to go really fast, and then if I forgot anything or you have any questions.
Well, that was a lovely array of stuff that you do. So do you help fill out like a hunting license or a fishing license online? Is that what they're doing?
Correct,
Okay.
yeah. So we have our patrons they would rather do anything but get on a computer, but they want to go hunting. So we're going to get them set up. So we'll sit there and walk them through it.
Yeah, thanks.
So this came up today. Somebody asked it at the library. If you help people to apply for driver's licenses, do you do that?
No, we could probably steer them to the right resources. We can pull up I think there's the driver's manual, but then they will have to reach out to the courthouse on that.
Okay.
Yeah. But we definitely have the resource to point them where they need to go.
Someone did ask.
Any questions?
I have no questions, but as usual, I appreciate it. After your report, I don't need the fidget board.
I'm sure it's a lot of fun.
Andy?
So, thank you, Jessica, for always being a great resource.
Yeah.
Who would have thought this Backus class would take you into the library? Yeah.
Never know.
I never know. It's great.
With that many new library cards, that's really wonderful. But do you know, is our school systems increasing also with children? Like, is our enrollment up from last year?
That I don't know. What I do know is that they're now making it mandatory to get a library card. That's a school supply, the same with scissors, paper. I'm not quite sure about the enrollment, but that is a good question.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks,
Councilmember
Judge.
Trujillo, did you have a question?
No, it was just all complimentary.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica, for the great job.
Thank you.
Jessica.
do a great
Thank
work.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jessica.
Item 3C, Trinidad Animal Shelter update. Come on, Kimberly.
Give me again. I'm not gonna ask for anything this time. Just share. Animals, that's so we do. Can I go back if I hit? Okay, cool. Madam Mayor, City Council, how are y'all doing this evening? Here I go again. This is probably not one of my more favorite things to do in the world, but I don't think too many people can say public speaking is at the top of their list. The purpose of my my presentation today is to share the animal shelter with you. I think it's important that we get out into the community again. We're doing some neat things at the shelter, growing. We have growing pains that are felt with my staff, and so what I'd like to do is emphasize some of the fun things we're doing. As you see, we have some of our friends on there who were at our facility. We still have one of those wonderful dogs, and Layla is still with us. The others have been adopted. The purpose today is for, I want to update you on the shelter, staff development, sharing our rebrand, and exciting new events that are coming in the future. So I look back at 2024, 2025, 2026, because I wanted to see where our numbers were at a 10-week period, so I looked for last week. So those numbers are for last week. We have had a few adoptions, we have had a few return to owners, and we have had a couple of transfers. So when I looked at the revenue for 2026 as opposed to the rest, we are tracking at 20% above 2025. Well, I would like it to be a perfect world and keep that going, but you know, we're going to have to see how it continues, the revenue continues to track. Right now, our transfers will be over 200, and our adoptions should be over 200 as well if it continues to track at the increase that we have put forth. The staff at the shelter are extremely unique. People who choose to work this line of work are very, very special. I'm going to share a few of those people with you. I'm going to share my assistant manager with you. She's responsible for all the training, staff development. She keeps us all in line with our PACFA, which is Pet Animal Care Facility Act. That's the state ordinances and rule and statute that we are required to follow. We also have to follow city ordinances. So we have a lot going on. She keeps us all in line. She trains staff accordingly, and she knows those rules very, very well. She's also our online presence, which if you've been watching our Facebook page, she has gotten quite a few animals adopted out with her wonderful posts, and she is irreplaceable. Couldn't get it through a day without her. My transfer coordinator, he's got a lot to do. He loves his new van. The questions was asked last time about how far we travel, so I had him look up some of the mileage. Saving Doberman Kind Animal Rescue in Fountain is 112 miles one way. Live Puppy Rescue in Brighton is 264 miles one way. HSPPR, which is the Humane Society in Colorado Springs, is 115 miles one way. Foothills Animal Shelter in Golden is 180 miles one way. And our Animal Friends Alliance in Fort Collins is 237 miles one way. So the van is very, very, very used. We are already done a few transfers, and he is greatly appreciative of the new vehicle. He's also responsible for all of our volunteer and foster programs, and this really keeps him busy. I have a new adoption coordinator. He has begun the process by streamlining our vetting. He and I felt it important that animals get out of our facility quicker and get to their forever home. So we implemented a faster vetting. Instead of it being a week or two before you get your animal, he can get them out day or two, if not same day. So we are very careful who gets animals. All staff gets involved in that because he and I are not from the area, and other staff know people here, and we try to make sure that we have notes and things in our system, so we're very careful who gets animals. He has an IT background and has added a level of detail, which is helping us make documents more productive, and he's teaching us all a lot. There's quite a big learning curve for some of us with the IT situation, but he's loving us through the learning curves. Okay. My med staff is irreplaceable. I have 1 med lead and 2 med technicians. They assess all of the animals as they come in. As you can imagine, you're going to get a dog who's very scared. They have these whale eyes. They just are fearful. And my med team is very slow, calm, and take really good care of the animals. They give them all their shots. They assess them for the level of health. They have to get very up close and personal. Let me tell you, it's quite a job. I'm amazed at their level of expertise. So you always have to remember that it's not for the faint of heart. They are responsible for other health, whether in the facility. My med lead checks animals every day. They're giving meds. Staff goes in at 8 o'clock. We have a med team, and they go in and give meds at 8 o'clock every night. So there's always someone at the shelter. So it's not just a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 7 days a week, and 8 o'clock at night. My kennel staff is irreplaceable, and they're the meat and potatoes of the shelter. They do everything. Last week I had a part-timer who was up to his shoulders in, I don't know what you want to call it, muck in the drains, getting the drains unplugged, and did it with a smile. Came out of there smelling just rosy. We start cleaning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we are open at 11 for the public. Animals are fed, they're cleaned up after throughout the whole day. Staff plays with them, walks them, and then feeds them again. Then they come in and do night meds. Staff works tirelessly to make sure all the policies are followed and animals have the best of care. This is a thankless job. What makes it even more interesting is the staff come back every day after they do this. They come back again and again. So it's a very amazing. I promise that they do this for the animals and not for themselves. They do the job, unconditional bond and love between the animals. I've seen it, I've watched it, and it's amazing. It warms your heart when you come in and you see how one of these staff members will come in and that animal has bonded with them. And so we have to remove ourselves during meet and greets because they're attached to the staff and we want them to be attached to the new people. So that's a real tough one. So we're going to work on a rebrand. I was asked 2 questions. I was asked, what are the 2 things that are important to me? And so I thought about it for a few minutes and I said, well, the first thing is culture, my staff and the culture of my staff. And the second thing is the community. So this is our new motto, and it's going to be care with purpose, community at heart. And it stems with my staff and the community, and I think that's what the shelter should be centered upon. Sorry. Well, there's our van. We posted that picture on it. I posted that picture on it. That's what it's going to look like when we get there. But that's on our building, and that will be replacing the sign out front soon. Okay, I'm not going to say what it looks like. We all know what it looks like. I still get comments probably on a weekly basis, what we're doing to replace that. So we're gonna do that. I'm working on some bids and see if we can get that taken care of for the community, am I right? So I'm gonna talk about some wonderful upcoming events. We're gonna have new hours. Community has voiced to me since I started 6 months ago that they wanna know why we aren't open enough. So we're gonna open 4 days, and then very quickly, we're gonna open 5 days. So we're gonna see how, I can honestly say we're not closed. If someone comes to the door, my adoption coordinator opens the door, shows them animals, shows them cats, shows them dogs. We accommodate the community all the time. So I want you to know that the new hours aren't gonna make that much of a difference, it's just gonna be on the wall, but that's what the community has asked for. We're working on fundraisers like our brick program. That was implemented prior to me, and I would like to bring it back. It is a brick program where you buy a brick and you get to memorialize your animal on the brick, and there'll be different sizes and such. Haven't gotten that far into it, plus I'm working on where we're gonna put it and getting some donations for, like rock and sand and things like that. I already got somebody who I voluntold that's gonna put it in. So, a landscaper I happen to know. We're excited about Santa Fe Trail Days. I hope everybody comes and sees us. We'll have treats for the animals for sale on the table. We're also gonna have information on volunteering in our foster program. And lastly, the previous shelter had what they called the Peacock Ball. And I heard what a wonderful event that was. So staff came up with Coat and Tails. It's going to be a semi-formal event. We're going to work on it probably for next year in the spring. And we're excited about that, having a dinner, and I haven't developed what we're going to do yet. We're working on it, ideas. I have an email, send me your ideas. I'm open to anything, but the staff is excited about it. They shared how the Peacock Ball was quite a wonderful community event. So we're gonna move on to that. So some of our friends here, I want you to know that all the animals get names. They all have personalities, and the staff treats them very, very individualistic. They are thought of as family, and it's an extremely unique situation. I want to thank you for letting me share the shelter with you. More importantly, thank you for letting me share my staff. They're going to kill me, but my assistant is Liz, and then Crystal is my med lead, Jamie is my adoption coordinator, and Robert is my foster transfer foster coordinator. I'm sorry. He does it all. So the staff has invited you to come visit us anytime at the shelter. Please come work. Come take a day. Spend it with us. Come at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'd love to have you. Wear your grubbies. Get ready to pick up some dog poo. And get to meet the animals, get to meet the cats, or come in and just have a tour. Please get with Ms. Marshall, and we will get that taken care of for you. That is all I've got for you guys today.
Thank you so much for the work that you do. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
What percentage of dogs come from the city versus the county?
I don't take county animals at this time.
Okay.
I would love to incorporate the county. We would have to have a facility 3 or 4 times the size, and staff and funds. So at this moment in time, there are not county animals that come in. Now, that is not to say that I have not had calls from the sheriff asking for help. Will I help when I can? Yes. But I can't do a lot because we would be...
You'd be overrun.
We would be overrun. And I can't. We are the City of Trinidad Animal Shelter. We are not Los Animas County Animal Shelter. And that breaks my heart because the county has it's a beautiful county. It's wonderful people. So in a perfect world, maybe somebody who's a millionaire might give us a new building, and then we'll be Los Animas County Animal Shelter. But we'll work on that.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? I have a question. When you did the film that showed the comparative years, you said, it looked like it said 47. Is that for January and February for, I'm asking that question because if that's for January and February, that would be like 300 animals this year you would be giving homes to, and I was just making sure that that stat was right. And
So the adoptions were at 10 weeks, 47.
at 10 weeks, so we will hit 300 this year. by
We
that
could
statistic.
if we continue to track that way. Now, we haven't had that many in the last week or so. Got a couple. We're getting ready to go into kitty season, and then the transfers as well. We're tracking at over 200.
How do you get people to come in, and is it just like word of mouth so people come in, or is there an outreach that you need to have a dog?
She does a fabulous Facebook post,
Uh-huh.
and I think we had, I can't remember how many hits we had on chocolate.
She had 5 applications put in.
5 applications
The
and
day after.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hits.
So wonderful.
We have over 9,800 followers. That's gone up quite
Wow.
a bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're really careful what we post. When you have that many eyes on you, you don't want to. I have to take the good with the bad. There's always somebody who has something to say, and we don't respond. We just stay out of the confrontation. I invite them to come in and talk to me. I'd rather talk to them face to face. I can share numbers with them face to face a lot better than that. You know, to explain to somebody why we adopt an animal at $200 or $250 or $100 or $50, you know, why and how we're losing money and with every animal. It's hard to explain that on a Facebook post, so I don't even go there. So.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for everything you guys do.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank all of you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, and all of you back there too.
They're the meat and potatoes, let me tell you. That's the moments.
You can just close the lid.
Item number 4, petitions or communications, oral or written. The public comment section offers an opportunity for any citizen to express opinions or ask questions regarding city services, policies, or other matters of community concern, and any agenda items that are not part of a scheduled public hearing. Citizens will have 5 minutes for comments. This time limit was established to provide efficiency in the conduct of the meeting and to allow equal opportunity for everyone wishing to speak. An immediate response should not be expected, as issues are typically referred to city staff for follow-up or research and are then reported back to council and the individual who initiated the comment or inquiry. Written materials for presentation to council must be submitted to the city clerk as the speaker approaches the podium. Debbie Berry, you're up.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How's everybody doing? Well, I have 2 comments that I would like to make. The first one is on trying to set our building codes at 2024 standards. And I hope that you guys really take the time to dive into this and pay attention to what's going on, because if we, as a city, right now in our state that we are in, try to up these codes, we're going to fail. And we're going to fail everybody within the city. And that's going to be catastrophic for us. And I really hate to see that, because I am so proud of you guys. And I think you're doing such a wonderful job. And with the mayor and city manager and everybody involved, I would hate to see any of that go downhill. And I know that we have great conversations within the community, and you guys are doing wonderful, so thank you very much for that. But please really, really consider what this would mean and how detrimental it would be to our community if you do that. Second one is going to be real short and sweet. Like I said, I love you guys. I think you're doing wonderful work. I just would like to see a little more coordination between mayor, council, and city manager, and hope that maybe we can expand our horizons and bring in some outside partners that could help us with things that we need help with that maybe at this time and point we can't afford. And so being able to do that with all of you guys working together and listening to outside partners, we should be able to accomplish that. And once again, thank you all so much for everything that you do. We all appreciate you, whether you get to hear it or not.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Council reports. Councilman Trujillo, do you want to go first this time?
Was it last Friday? Well, last week I got to go, I got invited to the Head Start program over at Eckhart School. That organization is Chicanos por la Casa. And if, they asked me if I would like to read to some of the kids. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Come to find out that they really, really would love more community members, community leaders, anybody in a professional setting to please come out and reach out to them to reach to the children and talk about their careers. It is so much fun. They are so eager to learn. They just want to listen to you. It is, I don't even know how to say it. I left there with like the greatest feeling. Like, I walked out of there, I was like, this is so cool. So I encourage anybody that wants to do it to reach out to our Head Start program. I do have flyers available after the meeting if anybody wants to do that. And I really would hope that people would like to go over there and give that a shot and give these little kids a chance to hear about what we do, and maybe it might inspire them later on down the line to join in one of our careers. Also, we had our listening session on the 11th, and I just want to thank everybody for attending. It was a wonderful session. It was myself and Councilwoman Venor, and I just want to thank the community for showing up. It was great. I really enjoyed it, got some great feedback, and that's all I got.
I have nothing to report, but one more I'd like to put out a thank you. We had a gentleman retire last week in Trinidad. He had 51 years of service with the Division of Wildlife, and a lot of those years he sat in the upper parking lot at Central Park looking at the pond and taking care of the pond. So I just want to congratulate Bob Holder and wish him the best of luck with his retirement.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have none. We didn't have any meetings this last month, so.
And Councilman Peters?
I'd just like to say that I'm really pleased with a lot of the things that we've been working on. A lot of people don't see it, and it does take a little longer to implement than we all like. But I'm seeing some good things down on the river areas. We've all been kind of trying to practice for the bocce ball tournament. That area is still a little sketchy. It's not safe for families quite yet, but I think that should be our next target. Yeah, that's good for tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Venor?
Yes, I just wanted to comment on our listening session. It was really wonderful to have, we got a lot of participation, and the citizens just had some great ideas and feedback, I thought. And so that was a lot of, it was just really enlightening, and it just made me feel good to see everybody so engaged. So, and to give us this feedback, and City Manager Marshall was fabulous at fielding the questions and giving people, insights into different things. The other thing I did is today I sat in on another session with Coalition for the Unhoused, KTS, and Purgatory River Watershed Partners, and the only thing I want to say about that was that they all wanted to give a shout out to the Los Animas County Veterans Council for the warming center this year, and they are so appreciative of that.
Very nice.
And specifically wanted me to mention Dave Mix and Ken Beck, so I'm mentioning them. And that's all I have.
I just wanted to mention the work session recently. I think for anyone that was not able to attend, and unfortunately I was in that number, I think it was a valuable experience to be reminded of the river visioning project and that work that is being done for the improvement of Trinidad. It's going to be such a, and I say it's going to be because you can't achieve something unless you plan for it. So we're taking those steps to plan for it and have a shovel-ready project that will hopefully attract those grant dollars. So I just wanted to commend everybody that's stood behind that, supported it, and worked so hard on it. Thank you for all that, because undoubtedly it will lead to a lot of available activities in Trinidad, and ultimately an increased revenue stream in Trinidad, and everybody knows that we can certainly use that. So I just wanted to mention it in this meeting publicly.
Thank you, Councilor Williamson. Okay, and let's dive into the Little paving. I received a highly anticipated update from our resident engineer, Laurel Jones, for the bid for Exit 14. It has officially closed, and Concrete Works of Colorado is the apparent bidder. So this project is currently going to be by Exit 14 coming in town, cleaning up that entryway into town. We're very grateful for that. I attended the Front Range Passenger Rail District meeting in Pueblo. It was packed at the, and it was highly successful. Sal Pace fostered the whole meeting. It was really wonderful. Louis Lopez was there, and our local railroad museum personnel were there. And he was really pushing Trinidad and to ensure Trinidad was beautiful and really represented, and really hopes that we get a new railroad outside sometime soon. I went to the Crossroads meeting, and I had this deeply inspiring meeting with the director, Heather Barnes, to better understand the massive influence that Crossroads does to our community. Detox will be transitioning into a residential program statewide as of July 1st due to new medical rules. They currently care for up to 14 people there, and the Colorado Behavioral Health Administration are updating their rules to strictly align with the American Society for Addiction Medicine, which will affect our community. They currently want residential treatment programs to foster recovery support, so halfway houses, and that is the bell that the state is going towards. But she does so much work by herself out there. She was just saying, let's get addicted to music, let's get addicted to outdoor recreation, let's get addicted to art, and it was really inspiring. So another quiet person in our community that's doing a whole lot. The Santa Fe Trail 200-year commemoration will happen on the 24th and the 22nd. I met with Patricia Trava regarding this massive downtown event. I wanted to let you know we are used to Santa Fe Trail because it's here for us, but this event is having people from the whole trail, which means Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, and New Mexico will be here. It'll be a great event for Trinidad in September, so yay to that. And local history, I did a Zoom meeting with Colorado Creative Industry Summit, and they are also coming into town on June 3rd. I attended the meeting for the Youth Optimist Club, and looking forward to March 31st when the governor of Colorado and Wyoming Optimist Club for Youth sign us into it for the city of Trinidad, so really excited about that. I attended the Community Coalition, which numerous stakeholders were on. Must have been a different one than you were on. We had about 30 people in our group. And so that was great. I attended Trinidad, Colorado, the Revival on Friday night that happened at Space to Create, which is a truly fabulous evening of worship and connection in downtown Trinidad. I did the Riverwalk Saturday cleanup with Julie Knudsen and her crew. I just want to make sure that I also saw the vintage show that's going on at Space to Create, and the Mitchell Museum has the Frank Lulana collection. Those are excellent things for everybody to do. I also attended the Main Street Theater for Annie of Green Gables and talked with Eric about an event that we have talked about for months. That's my update.
Is that it?
Okay. Consent agenda approval. The consent agenda can be adopted by a simple motion. The consent agenda will be read aloud prior to a vote on the motion. Any consent agenda item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of a council member for individual consideration. On this, it's 6A is approval of meeting minutes of March 3rd, 2026. B is special events permit application filed by the Benevolent and Protected Order of the Elks Lodge at 181, 120 South Maple Street on April 11, 2026. 6C is a special event permit application filed by Mount Carmel Wellness and Community Center at 225 North Commercial Street on May 15th, June 12th, June 24th, and August 21st, 2026. D, approval of temporary modification of premise permit filed by Mount Carmel Wellness and Community Center at 911 Robinson Avenue. Approval of the bills at $1,981,973.08. That includes payroll. And F, approval of the payroll March 17, 2026 through March 27, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Call?
Peters,
Yes.
Rosetti,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Benor,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Michaels.
Yes. Number 7, public hearings. There are no public hearings today. Number 8, miscellaneous business. 8A, board and commission interviews.
Madam Mayor, we had hoped to have someone in front of you tonight to interview for the Parks and Rec. We have one open position in that, and it doesn't appear that they were able to attend tonight. So we would like to we would, I guess they don't need to table it, just take no action.
Yeah.
And then consideration of the appointment to Parks and Rec Advisory Board, if you can table that to the next meeting. We'll try and get the last applicant in front of you next week. Okay, thank you.
I missed out on what you said. That one and which other one? Parks and Rec?
Just board, item 8A will not happen this evening.
Okay,
We would suggest item 8B be tabled to the next
Okay.
meeting, please.
gotcha. Everybody okay with that?
You'll have to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to strike A and table B until next meeting.
Second.
Call.
Peters,
Yes.
Rosetti,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Benor,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Michaels.
Yes. 8C, consideration of appointment to the Urban Renewal Authority Commission.
And you have two applicants that interviewed for that. There is a letter in front of you that one of them has withdrawn their interest. The other applicant, I believe, is listed in your packet. And so we have one applicant for one position.
So we have you have Debbie Berry.
Correct.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Call?
Peters,
Yes.
Rosetti,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Benor,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Michaels.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
8D, consideration of the request for bid, RFB, submitted by EDG Construction for the Public Works Drainage and Sewer Improvements Project number 10-2025.
Madam Mayor, City Engineer Bob Just will present this one.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. This project is a drainage improvement and sewer improvement project out at our Fleet building. It consists of about 5 inlets, 10-inch SDR 35 sewer pipe, storm sewer pipe, and we're relocating the leach field because we currently pump once a month. You have to pump that tank. The leach field's not leaching, so the tank's backing up. So we're going to relocate to a completely different location, install new infiltrators, And anyway, that's what the project consists of. I come before you tonight, we received 5 bids. The lowest being EGD Construction for $227,659.99. We reviewed his bid, it seems acceptable. Yes, it's $72,000 lower than the next bid, but Mr. East has informed me that he doesn't have high overhead, so the project's within his scope, and we believe that he can do it. He did a project for us up at the community center, done a wonderful job. So anyway, I open up for questions to you guys.
I have some questions now, Mayor, if I can ask.
Absolutely.
So I spent some time reviewing the bid tabulations, and I just had some concerns about the level of variation in these bids, both in the total bids and within the individual line items of the bids. The lowest bid is about 31% lower, as you mentioned, than the next bid, low bid, and significantly below, it's basically half the higher bid. And there are just, where the scope appears clearly defined, if you look at items 10 and 11, where you have a specific 6-inch class, I guess that's 6 ABC.
Aggregate base course.
Yeah. And on item 11, where you have those specific things stated, the bids are much closer. Where we have things like just 10-inch SDR pipe, which I did a little delved into that, there are different types. So I don't have the bid in front of me specifically. So my question is, from a perspective of reviewing bids and specifications, these bids seem really far apart in a lot of places. And so it makes me wonder, first of all, what the specifications, were they clear, or were they left up to each individual bidder to form their own opinion of what type of SDR pipe you might want, or those types of things? And then secondarily, did they have the same information? Was there one walkthrough that was conducted that all of them attended and heard the same information, or were there individual walkthroughs? Because I know that that had happened on another bid that I heard about here. So those are my kinds of concerns are change orders, because this is a lot lower than the other bids, and I just wonder why that is. I'm sure the contractors, I have no truck with the individual contractors, just want to make sure that our specs were clear.
Sure, very good question. So there was a detailed spec book that was put out, technical specifications for the pipe. The pipe is it's clear cut on what it is. It's a polyvinyl chloride, SDR 35. It's a type of sewer, sanitary or storm. But yes, they all had a set of this technical specifications and a set of plans. So there was one non-mandatory walkthrough. This particular contractor was on site, which is a good thing, because you learn from a lot of questions that are asked from other contractors. Why his prices, for instance, on that 10-inch is less than the next bidder, RMS, $85 versus $43. He does not have the overhead to put in it, but the pipe price is it's about half of the 43, about 20-some bucks a foot. It's not a deep excavation. This particular line item, if you have the specification, includes the excavation, pipe bedding, which is a sand type product, backfill, compaction. Like I said, the excavation on these are very minimal. We start out on the sanitary around 2 foot. It increases as we head towards the leach field. Same thing with the storm sewer. We start out shallow, around 3 feet, and it carries grade until it exits into our property. It's on the other side of the Chili ditch, which, by the way, we have permission. We've got permission from the Chili ditch many years ago to cross the ditch, and I talked to Mr. Berker. TJ Berker is the ditch president, and said he's fine. I'm just giving him an update that our project was being awarded this evening, and he didn't have any questions or concerns.
So you mentioned that the walkthrough was not mandatory?
That is correct.
So did the winning bidder, or the low bidder, that you're recommending attended?
Yes, he did.
But
Mr.
none of the
East
other,
was-
okay, so
he-
none of the other, were there others or just
Uh-huh.
that one? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah,
So that
RMS was there.
Okay.
You mentioned Baja, they're out of Pueblo. That probably stands one reason why their bid is a lot higher, because they have to commute from Pueblo. There was nobody from Western Civil, and the gentleman from Trinidad Commercial Construction was there.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that there was enough conversation,
Sure.
that people brought things up, so things
Yeah,
were
so,
aware and that kind of thing in the bids.
I would
Okay.
just like to add, when it comes to change orders, this is part of the strategy that we're implementing with our city engineering department. This was engineered in-house.
Mhm.
And we are seeing in the projects that we're controlling and engineering that when we have change orders, they are for truly unanticipated things that everyone who bid on it would have had to deal with. Part of the reason that we're investing in building an engineering department even larger over the next couple of years is so that we can do more and more of this type of inside engineering and cost savings on the project.
Yeah. and-
As you can see, we have staff that's capable.
Yes, and that was basically my question, is this is a spreadsheet, so I don't expect the
Right.
entire specification to be on the sheet, but I didn't know if that could have created some confusion as to the bid prices, because that's where we see.
It's
The
about 80
largest variation.
pages.
Yeah.
It's about 80 pages of
Yes,
specifications.
yeah,
So, yeah, Tara has a copy of the specs and plans in her office, if whenever you feel. Come
no,
by
I
and
don't
look at
look
it.
at it, excuse me.
No, but
No, it's just
you're
my
more welcome.
question.
We don't anticipate change orders, but we don't have x-ray vision either. I mean, it's an old site, there could be buried something that we run into.
Sure,
When you're downtown, you find everything. Out there, we don't anticipate it, but you never know.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure they were all bidding the same things, because that isn't specified on what we have.
Yes.
So I'm glad to hear it is
Sure,
specified
good,
in the bid
good
and in the
question.
project. Thank you.
We not only do non-mandatory walkthroughs, which is one done and everybody's invited, but we're also inviting everyone to our bid openings, and they are there together as the bids are open. And we stick to a very strict schedule, and we don't deviate from that. You can't call up staff and ask them a ton of questions before you put your bid in. You have the specs, everyone has the equal opportunity.
I would just my opinion, I think the walkthrough should be mandatory. That's just my opinion. Because if you're gonna bid on a project and you didn't even see it.
Thank you for your, yeah,
Thank you,
But that's just
Councilwoman.
thank you for your suggestion.
Does anyone else have questions of Bob?
I just have a couple questions, really quickly. In this project, when material is delivered to the site, whose responsibility is that to measure up the material that's brought to the site versus the specification? Who makes that actual determination that it meets the standard?
It's a contractor's responsibility. Now, the next step in that question is if he requests payment for material on site, it's still his responsibility to maintain and secure that material, because, example, this project here, they might walk off because it's in the middle of the city, but it's still the contractor's responsibility to secure it. So, but yes, we do review the bill, the blading, the order material, so make sure that if he's asking for 500 lineal feet, that 500 feet exist, but ultimately it's his responsibility to secure that material.
I guess what I'm asking is, does someone from the city visually verify that it is
Yes.
the proper standard material?
Yes, we do. We won't pay materials until we actually visually observe it.
That's another, the inspection function is another function of the engineering department.
Okay, that's what that's probably a better way to ask that, but I appreciate this. It's well presented, and there's a lot of variation there, but I do know that when construction companies bid, some have different markup characteristics, and some people mark up their material and some people do not. So that may be some of the variation. I'm guessing. I mean, because it is fairly wide, but EGD definitely stands behind their work, and I would say it's a quality contract.
They are.
Yeah, And EGD is local, right?
That's correct.
So that's one of the bigs from being in the hotel industry, is when they bid and they're from out of town, they're counting in $100 hotel rooms, how many guys per
Yeah.
night. So it's better when we do it local for.
Biggest question is it gonna solve the problem? Because we really have a lot of issues out there,
Absolutely.
guaranteed.
For the record.
Because there's really been a lot of problems there.
That's what happens when you buy used property.
Well, I agree with you, it wasn't a bad situation in the first place,
So-
but it need to be corrected, I mean, for sure.
Thank you.
No
Councilman
questions.
Councilman Trail, do you have any questions?
No, pretty much, I think they were all answered, yeah, because just the jump in prices that I was looking at, I was like, that is a huge gap, you know, that I'm just trying to figure out. And what was the project that EDG did for us before?
It was mostly concrete project. It was a little bit of drainage, storm piping.
Well, they did do storm piping.
A little bit, yeah.
And everything's been we've been good,
That went wonderful.
everything's wonderful, okay.
If you get a chance, go up there and look at it.
RMS is doing this out here, right? Or this
No.
is Western Civil?
This is Western, so RMS is doing the one across at the
Welcome
Welcome
Center.
At the
Center.
Welcome Center, okay. And they're all working really hard, I can tell, they're doing a great job out there, all of them, so.
They are.
Yeah, like I said, my only concern was when I saw the jumps in prices, and I was like, well, are we getting the same quality all the way across? So I had the same questions of that, and you answered that in possible overhead.
Yeah, so the technical specs identify the materials. So then you just look at the installation. So I'm confident that Mr. East he takes a lot of pride in his work. He'll install properly.
Yeah,
Thank you. Mr. Williamson?
I have one question, if I
Yeah.
may. Are you confident of the timeline, given the smaller, by his own admission, smaller overhead? Does he have the manpower to finish on the timeline you prescribed?
He says he does, so he's got two young, hardworking sons, so.
That's what we learned.
So I probably, yeah, and then, I think he'll do fine.
Okay.
Okay. Do we need to call?
You need
Do
a
we have a
motion?
motion?
I'll make a motion to award the bid to EDG Construction.
Second.
Call?
Peters,
Yes.
Rossetti,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Trahell,
Yes.
Lenore,
Yes,
Williamson,
Yes.
Michaels.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Just.
Thank you.
thank you.
Item 8E, emergency ordinance to permit the commercial sale of water outside of Las Animas County.
This evening, Madam Mayor, this is me. Our water ordinance is very clear that it does not allow for commercial sales of the water from our water stations, and we permit these water stations and we sell them. The treated water from the city of Trinidad, we have never allowed for those water stations to sell outside of Las Animas County. So in looking for a solution, if council chooses to take this solution, we looked to the charter, which lays out how emergency ordinances can be handled. City council can adopt an emergency ordinance. It is effective upon your adoption, which would be this evening, and it is effective for 31 days. So as it states in the ordinance, it would expire on April 17th and no longer be effective. So this would, should you approve it, allow for those sales from the water stations to residents of Huerfano County for a period of time from tonight, which effectively would be tomorrow morning, to April 17th. This request initially came from the water stations themselves. They were receiving a number of calls from residents of Huerfano County asking if they could come over. We met then with the city of Walsenburg and we met with Huerfano County Emergency Management and discussed how and if this would help them in the situation that they're in. My last conversation with Walsenburg was at 5 o'clock today. Denver Water has been here since late Saturday. They believe, based on what they're seeing at the water treatment plant, that they have a viable solution. They're going to see if it holds overnight, and they're going to start opening valves in the morning. If they do, about 2/3 of the residents of the city of Walsenburg will have water again after not having had water since Thursday. So their concern is that they also not only serve their local residents, but they also serve the county. It's similar in our situation where we're the water provider for Los Angeles County. So they feel like it's going to take a couple of weeks to get that backfill caught up. So their request was to see if we would be able to allow these water cells in an effort to get their residents caught up. I don't have a past history and haven't been able to find where we've done this before. The recommendation from staff was if you choose to do this, we do this as an emergency ordinance, and that we limit each customer to 1,000 gallons. So you can drive over and get 1,000 gallons, but that would be it, and then drive back. So those were our recommendations, and that's how we've crafted the ordinance.
What is the current state right now? It's nobody's doing.
They believe they've got pressure at the water treatment plant. They have not opened it up to the city yet. They're doing some testing right now. If they open it and start opening valves in the morning, they'll start charging lines. If those lines hold, then they've got the solution. If the lines don't hold, then they go back to the drawing board. It's been an extremely difficult leak to find, and in truth, they found 8 or 9 leaks as they've gone. There is one substantial leak. They hope they found it. It was about 1,300 gallons a minute. As of yesterday, so I didn't get the number for today, but as of yesterday, midday, they had lost 4 million gallons of water. It wasn't really surfacing anywhere. They were starting to see the river rise a little bit in one location, but the anticipation. And once again, this is just talking back and forth with them. I'm not the final arbiter, but I believe that they thought it was going underground. And it was difficult for them to find it for that reason.
So I have a question, if I may. Do you know, they're looking to see pressure build tomorrow morning? That's what you're saying. Do they have meters turned off around the city?
I don't know that at that level.
Because
I've dealt mostly with the emergency aspect
Well,
of it.
I'm just curious. I mean, if you don't have meters turned, it's going to be a while till you see pressure build if every...
They're seeing pressure at the plant as of 5 o'clock today, but they haven't opened certain valves.
Mhm.
So in terms of at your house, whether you're feeling any pressure,
Yeah.
right now you wouldn't. They will have to open the valves.
No, I get that.
See if the pressure holds and then charge the lines.
Is that 1,000 gallons a one-time deal, or can you come today?
You could come tomorrow and get
And come
1,000.
tomorrow?
It's 1,000 at a time.
Okay, and second of all, they agree to keep the price the same and not,
It's not in the ordinance. That was going to be our strong request.
yes, that they
We did
don't
not
bump
want,
up the price.
right, it to be a
Yes.
gouging issue for those folks that haven't had water in a
Exactly.
week.
Is there?
So if you would like to make the motion with that request, we will add that to the guidelines
I
that
think
we
I
issue.
would like a motion.
I think, if I may we have further discussion before a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't mind, I think that, I appreciate that the staff recommended the 1,000 gallons, but I have a concern with still, what is our water
Yes.
situation?
Mr. Veal and I have talked back and forth many times since yesterday. If we were irrigating, this would be a real strain on us. Could we do this? Our initial recommendation, and you may have noticed in my email yesterday, was 2 weeks. However, this would be effective for till the 17th. If you want to modify the amount of time that you would allow this, you're asking us if this would put a strain on us.
I would just really, with all due respect to Walsenburg, they unfortunately, and I mean unfortunately, have a problem. Because of projects that we're doing, we're on a limited basis ourselves. And I know all of us understand how that works, but when you're dealing with a limited volume resource, such as water, as that goes down, there's really high temperatures in the next couple of weeks forecast. We could have irrigation start pretty quickly around town, and with people's meters are being opened, I know there's water restrictions, whatever, but people's behavior is hard to control. I think unfortunately, the downside, the risk potential to us is much higher than the amount of help that we're going to be giving to Walsenburg. I would really suggest that we don't do this. I mean, our responsibility and fiscal responsibility, moral responsibility is to the citizens of Trinidad. There's a long chain of events that have put Walsenburg where it is. It's our responsibility to ensure our citizens are protected. I would advocate we don't do this myself.
I have a question.
Sure.
1,000 gallons, is that would only be like for a cistern? How could anybody get 1,000
It
gallons?
would be for a cistern for the most part.
And is there any way that we could get other cooperation with any of the other small communities around? Not really sure of like Colorado cities that's 25 miles up the road from them too. I was just wondering, was everybody jumping in so that we could?
To my knowledge, they haven't contacted other jurisdictions, but I can't say that
Yeah.
definitively, Mayor. I've only handled their request to us.
I mean, and all, if I may, one other thing, if you never know what may come, and I think it's our responsibility to protect that. I mean, one firefighting incident away. I mean, we can have big demands on our water. I think we should not.
And staff's not recommending this one way or another. We are recommending that we limit, if you choose to do this, that we limit it to 1,000 gallons a customer.
For 31 days?
Our original recommendation was 2 weeks, but the way the ordinance passes, it would be allowed to be done for 31 days. Now, we could, if that's what you want to vote, we could, you can sunset this in 14 days.
Yeah, I think the two.
But
That would be-
we can shut the water off anytime we want,
can.
external. So
Even if
if it's getting lower, we can just have it shut off because that's in the ordinance.
It is, Councilmember Shu is correct. And even though the ordinance would be established, Councilmember Peters, to the 17th, if your recommendation is A, prices not be gouged, and B, we offer it for only 2 weeks, then that's what staff will do. This emergency ordinance just allows us to do it,
I like some limitations on it,
okay?
but they're our neighbors and they need help, and we
Yeah.
gotta help them.
I
I'm
feel
sorry,
the
there's
same
gotta be some limitations.
Okay.
We need
I
to help.
definitely think
We need to
that,
help our neighbors.
I
Yeah,
definitely think Councilman Grissetti's recommendation of the capping the pricing.
No capping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Capping.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
And also, I do think maybe we could limit it, although in light of what Councilmember Shu said, I guess we could do that if
We can
things
stop
start
it.
to get
Yeah, we can shut it off anytime
thinking.
we want.
Yeah, we can shut
And
it
any
off.
external, even our area, we
Right.
can do that. That's in the ordinance when they get.
We do. Or extraterritorial taps, like Santa Fe Trail Ranch can get shut off by us if we're in a water situation, and we have water austerity.
and we would be able to see if they wanted to go ahead and ask other communities too, that serve just as close as they do if we jumped in but said, hey,
I'm sure they are
yeah, I
respectfully,
would
Mayor.
think so, right?
We have the water,
Yeah,
the Arkansas Valley, really.
yeah,
You're talking about Beulah, Pine Drive, Colorado City, they all have water strains.
oh, yeah.
In
Okay,
your conversations, are they getting close?
Yes.
Have they been narrowing it down? It sounds like
They have,
they're getting a little handle on
Yeah.
it from,
they have. So as they made progress and fixed a leak, they would see less pull, right? So the pressure is restoring itself at
and
the
they have
plant.
identified the big 1,300.
They believe that they
gallon.
have
Mhm.
identified every leak
So it
they
really
fixed.
shouldn't take them too long to correct it. That's an emergency for them.
It
They
is.
should be on it 24/7.
Denver Water has been here since Saturday, and they have amazing technology, and they
There
are
you go.
doing the work in the field.
and
I
Councilman
don't know.
Chambers.
I feel like we're kind of confident that they're gonna get this problem fixed, so,
Yeah,
okay.
so with all that conversation, does anyone else have anything they want to bring forward? and we would need a motion.
We would like before the motion to get some clarity, Counselor Downs.
Yeah, Mayor, council members, if you are wanting to amend and wanted to 14 days, I think that's what I heard you just say. The last whereas I would propose would be 14 days following its adoption, number one.
And that would make it March 31st, down below, instead of the 17th.
Okay. And then also in the paragraph number 1, permitted water resellers are allowed to sell municipally treated water to residents of Garfield County at the same price as all other water sales from the date of the adoption of this emergency ordinance. Did you get that, Kimberly?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just laying it down. Does that
last part
sound agreeable? Okay. And if you want to make a motion for that amended.
I'd like to make a motion to amend it to what Mr. Downs has stated in the ordinance.
Second. You seconded it. Call?
Peters,
Yes.
Rossetti,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Truhill,
Yes.
Lenore,
Yes.
Williamson,
With the amendments, yes.
Michaels.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. We will
Does the
let them know.
emergency ordinance need to be read at this time?
No. It's passed. We will inform the
And
public.
we'll be here too, we'll be here in 14 days. We'll be sitting right here so we can discuss it if that
Good point.
emergency.
Right.
Well, actually, we won't, unless we do a special meeting, which we can. Because it's April 6th.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll
okay.
be here then.
We will.
Yeah.
We can be here at the meeting.
Item 9, reports by city manager and city attorney.
Thank you.
No,
First, bocce ball tournament is coming along. We have 2 more teams. So I believe Councilmember Venor threw down a challenge to Councilmember
I
Trujillo.
did, and I
at
don't
the
know, coordinate
Okay.
schedules.
Right, no worries. The deadline is March 25th, so please, for the public, we have 2 more spots for anyone who wants to play.
It's played on Sunday, right?
No, you
Play
set up,
Oh.
your, Madam Mayor can explain.
Okay, I'll have to find out.
So the cool way that this has always been done in our community is that it's me and you playing, and we're playing against Manny and Dan. And so we see our number up there, so we call Manny and Dan and say, hey, when do you want to play? And you say, hey, how about this Tuesday at 5:30?
Okay.
And we say, okay. And then whoever wins, we report to Audra or however
Right,
the game plays, and so then so you play at your own time. So sometimes you can see people playing out there all day long if it's a Saturday because they're doing their jobs, they're meeting, and sometimes you just see them at noon on a Tuesday. So it's all the time, and it was really a lot of fun when Carol Cometto used to do it all the time, so that's really great.
Sign me,
Thanks.
yes, I'll sign me up. I'll go.
okay. One team to go.
That's what I
And then
was
when it gets down, if I know that you and Carmela are playing someone else, we start to show up when it narrows down to see who wins, and it becomes a thing.
It becomes the thing.
Probably
Okay.
whoever else shows.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry to
No,
interrupt that.
no.
Okay, we gotta
Love
stop
it.
it.
Bocce ball. You
Bocce
got
And I have 2 extra sets at my home, so if anybody needs them, I order them.
it. Just so you know, the mayor has a court in her backyard. So. Sign up to be a sponsor of Santa Fe Trail Days. Sponsorships are out right now. Santa Fe Trail Days sponsors support activities, entertainment, and fun that are going to make a great time for everyone. Please reach out online through our Facebook page. You will see the post. You can click that link for sponsorship information, or you just give the clerks a call at City Hall and they'll walk you through those sponsorship opportunities. We had a handful of public members at our city leadership listening session. Thank you, Councilmember Venor, Councilmember Trujillo. Thank you previously to Councilmember Peters and Rossetti and the mayor. I'm happy to announce that Councilmember Shu and Councilmember Williamson will do the next one on April 15th at 6 p.m. at Space to Create. So that'll make the full council set, and I wanted to know that we will put it on a work session agenda afterwards, and our communications coordinator is gonna do a report out kind of on all the different things that we've heard and where we are on those and what we've been able to follow up on and what we're hearing that's consistent themes. And then we'd like you to think about, after that report, how you want to go forward, if you like this format, if you want to keep going. So this will give everyone a chance to participate in it once, and then we'd like your feedback on where you want this to go. I think what we heard from the community is they wanted direct contact, and we're trying to provide that. And so in some ways it's been successful, in some ways maybe we want to tweak it. So be thinking already about that. We have a new bid out for curb cuts and sidewalks phase 3. This is inclusive of approximately 788 curbs and 11 intersections. Some of these are going to be involved in the Linden Street project. It's the first step we have to do before we move to the paving. So this will actually be the concrete work. We have a second bid which just hit my desk even after I'd done the report. And this will be out and you'll see it, the Los Niños walking trail. This is the final pickleball court. And that bid is out now. It includes a couple of alternatives. We're going to be bringing you information on that. Some of you who were on council before remember that Trinidad Community Foundation donated some exercise equipment. That is going into this concrete project, but we also found some additional costs that are going to be related to that donation. So Colonel Simpleman will be here when we have the bids for this, and he will explain, and we will have an MOU to go with Trinidad Community Foundation along with accepting the bid that night. So those are the two bids that are out now. If you hadn't noticed, the bleachers are coming down across the street at the football field. During this project, I just want to say publicly that we've had a wonderful opportunity to interface with a dozen folks who have fond memories of playing on that field or coaching on that field or being on that field. And a lot of people have reached out just in curiosity to find out why they're coming down and also to express just their memories. We also want to say that we appreciate the partnership with Holy Trinity Catholic Church. We appreciate their grace in working with us while we're doing this project and how it's impacted their church, and we appreciate them and how they're working with us closely. On the work session next Monday, we have several items, but I want to highlight one for you. Chief Burnett, he is the Division of Fire Prevention and Control. He's the Chief of Life Safety, and he's going to be here to present the Wildland Urban Interface. You may remember we had this on your agenda before and we pulled it because they're still tweaking things at the state level. A lot of questions relate around this and how it ties to building code. So building code, right now we're under the 2018, just to make one quick statement of something for you to think about. We're under the 2018 building code, and we'll be having a meeting tomorrow night at Space to Create at 5:30. It's on the 18th at 5:30, and Shims Coda, our professional commercial building inspector, will be here to walk us through what those new codes are that the state's mandating. It's true that if we don't make any updates to the building code, then we don't have to change anything, but it's also true we have to adopt the Wildland Urban Interface. So what we're being told is if we adopt the Wildland Urban Interface, that may trigger the need to adopt the building code. So that is something that we're going to need to resolve. And that starts tomorrow night when we discuss the building code. So you can't think of these things as separate issues. You have to think of them as tied together. Tomorrow night, Shims Code is coming at 5:30. Make sure I've got that right.
Yes.
Thank you. At Space to Create to talk with the community. On purpose, we have introduced no legislation, so you may all participate in all the public interface. Then on Monday, we're going to have Chief Burnett here with the Wildland Urban Interface, and some of the questions that staff has is how these two interface with each other, and we get different answers from different agencies. So that's going to be critical for us together, staff and council, to figure out which direction to go. Okay, that's tomorrow night at 5:30, and then that's next Monday at 3 o'clock. I want to just add a couple other quick things. I promise, Les, I keep it
No, it's
light.
okay, it's okay.
Locally, we've been reported a couple of multiple cases of kennel cough, it is a nasty cold for our canine friends. Kennel cough, you'll see a public service announcement we put out today. We are closing the dog park. We'll be cleaning it with the appropriate solution and reopening after we've cleaned it twice. We're encouraging people to keep their dogs vaccinated. And if you interface with somebody else's dog, and please wash your hands before you touch your own dog again. That's one of the best ways that you can help protect your animal, and you'll see that on our Facebook. And then I want to note that on Tuesday, March 24th, the city's hosting a public safety listening session at the Senior Center at 12:30, and both of the chiefs will be there to join the public in that listening session. And then finally, a happy and sad news, Marty Velasquez, who has been our rec director for years, has announced his retirement in May. He has been with the city for 30 years, so we will have an opportunity to thank Marty, but I wanted to let you know that he has officially filed those retirement papers. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall.
Public safety at the Senior Center is on March 24th, Tuesday.
You have questions?
Oh,
Time was it, Sarah? I'm
thank
sorry.
you, I apologize.
No, it's all right. There's also a health department meeting tomorrow, I think at 4 o'clock,
Okay.
where they're updating septic tank system regulations at chapter 41. For contractors and people in the business, that's a big deal.
And it's at 4 o'clock, and where is it?
I got to double check,
Okay.
I figured.
Okay. Once again, another
I'll go to it
tie-in.
and I'll report back, no problem, because it's a big deal to us.
Once again, that's another tie-in to the building code, to the wildfire
Oh, yeah.
interface, to all of these things that are tying together. I've been asked if our funding would be limited if we don't adopt some of these codes, and there is an executive order from the governor's office that states that. So that's one of the things I'll be asking our consultants, is how that executive order plays into these requirements. So we'll be learning together.
One quick deal, somebody asked me today, can you give us an update on the bid with the mold and the comments?
Sure, so we put that bid out. So we have in Space to Create Commons, on the west side basement, we have an east basement and a west basement. We have seen traces of mold. There's not standing water, but there is definitely infiltration. We did bid this out in January. We had no responses. So we're in the process of looking that over, and we'll be bidding it out again. This comes out of the $500,000 line item in capital improvement for municipal buildings, and we did prioritize this as the #1 project because it's directly public safety. So
How many square feet are we talking about?
I'll have to get back with you on that. I don't have it off the top of my head.
Okay. I was curious on how bad it is.
I'm happy to text you. I'm also happy for you to arrange to go over and look at it.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so very
Thanks.
much, Ms. Marshall. And Counselor.
Yeah, really, I just got
Counselor.
promoted. That's all right. Thank you, Mayor and Councilman. Just one thing to report on, and that is, last meeting, I told all of you about the low numbers we had in municipal court on our docket day. I believe the word I used was, I felt like I was being snitchy for saying that. Anyway, we had a municipal court docket day yesterday, and we had around 40 cases. So a lot more, and so I want to report the good with the not so
So
good.
that's snitchy now.
Exactly. I don't know what the word for it is, but it's not snitchy. It's good news, and that is the only thing I have to report on, Mayor.
Councilmember Peters, if you get the place and location of that meeting tomorrow at 4, can
I
you
will.
text me, please?
Yes, I just got it in my phone for 4 to 5.
Okay, thank you.
Item number 10,
Yeah.
adjournments. Thank you, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Who would like to look at the basement of Space to Create? One taker,
I would like to.
2 takers.
No, I have enough of mine.
Yeah. He's got the mold.
Go look at the basement of Space to Create, where there's the mold issue.
No, I do not.
Just throw them away.
I'll take a
It
look.
smells like a toad with them, like, throw them away.
Okay, I'll text both of
I
you
am so sorry.
one at a time. It doesn't look like any other takers, I just need to know if I needed to post it.